I'm so sorry. A bit of a delay. It just seems like it's a bit of a delay starting this, but don't worry. We'll more than make up for it. I guess I'm talking to no one yet. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well. Can't be late next time. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I'm just going to give it a little minute. I am a little bit behind schedule. Thank you for your patience. We will more than make this worthwhile for you. I appreciate you being here, whoever the first one is. And that's the one I'm going to answer most of the questions to. So I'm just getting set up. This is like this is going to be a huge live. Thank you for showing up, regardless of the little bit of a delay here. I'm going to take my time with everybody. I'm going to answer all questions. If you're here, can you please just say hello to make sure the chat works? If you don't mind. If you don't mind, and you can say a hello, that way I'll know that I can answer your questions, and everything's on the up and up. I look forward to having my new studio soon, and then we can start on time. Everything is just going to be awesome. In the meantime, I welcome you. I just want to make sure that the chat is here. Hi, thank you so much. Hold on, I just want to make sure. Wow, Nilly. Oh God, thank you so much. Life is very interesting right now, so Juliet, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I missed you on the last live. I had your information, love. Hello, I'm glad you're here, sweetheart. It's okay. We can do your information another time because I can't remember everybody's information that I'm tapping into, and I have no live, but that's okay. That's okay, sweetheart. Today's thing is going to be so fucking huge. We just need to get busy. There's a lot of stuff to learn. There's so much to learn. There's so much to go over without rushing. Again, thank you. Thank you for understanding that I was a bit detained. People freaking out. I'm like 30 fucking texts. Where are you? I'm here. I'm just getting set up. Thank you so much. So, I have everything that I'm going to talk about today. If you haven't checked the 2 recent vids that I did, and it's funny because I had a man who reached out to me. Oh my God, I'm so going to tackle this. It's going to be hilarious. I had a man who tackled out to me regarding the vid that I did on men, on what the women aren't seeing, that the men are leaking and how it's affecting us. And I had two men. Both of them were femen. Both of them were those type of men, which is why they had such a strong reaction. Please let me know you can hear me, yeah? I think it's cool. Okay, and one of them said, you know, I don't really agree with you. And I said, it's okay. You don't really actually have a life that I would look up to, that I would need your opinion. That's what I said to him. Why do you think your opinion matters to me? Like, you know, I was just being honest, and he just looked at me like he was in shock. Now, the other man on my TikTok channel, those that don't know, I also have a huge, close to 155,000 following on my TikTok. And that is at I Love Heyoka 777 Feminine Wisdom. I've also started a new channel called True Light, where I'm doing fresh vids. But there's a whole bunch of series on how to detach from someone, and I'm talking like 7-8 vids that you can purchase, not expensive. How to bring your boyfriend back, and how to recognize a toxic guy. It would be a good idea for the men, for me to do how to recognize a toxic woman, but I'm going to talk about it all today because no one's talking about this, and this is why the women are blaming the men, and the men are just flustered and don't know what to do anyway. Or what happens is the men that are in their ego and are really giving a twisted name to a masculine, what's happening, because the real true men who are steppable now, pet-like material, they're opening the gap with the real toxic type of guys, because it's not just toxic and being too soft and leaking light and leaking their fuel, which I'll talk about, but it's also the other ones who you don't want to be around. It's been what women have gone through when men were attempting to gain a sense of power over a weaker sex physically, like a woman. That's when all that happened. So we need to get the real men that are just crippled right now and handicapped up to their full. They had a hit. They had quite a few hits. And yes, the hit involved a mother, but that's not the core of it. The core would be in a past life. And if any of you men listening here, if there's any men and you want to get into that, just hit me up, because as a Hayoka empath, that's what I do. I'll mention that again later, but it's probably all women now. Or maybe it's a man, I don't know. Men aren't the evil thing here, just so you know. They are our lighthouse in our stormy seas. It is imperative that we have a man we look up to that can lead us, or we would be fucked. So fucked, because we come from a diffused way of thinking. We think here, then think there, then think then. Men go from point A to point B. Now, those that say they can multitask, sorry for you. You are completely in a diffused vagina mentality. Now, if you're a creative guy, then you will tap into that. But if your business aspect or your sense of logic is impaired and you don't know enough to make sure you have a good business person, have someone deal with all those things, you're going to be a talented man without money and without women, or both. Now, I'm going to tackle this really, really slowly, but I'm going to have a little bit of fun with it so that we can laugh at the ways that the matrix, at the ways that the few families on top that know these codes, they know that polarity is gold. They know the way man and woman has been created. It's not just our organs slide in without resistance. There's a reason our organs are made to go into each other so effortlessly. It's not like the guy, and I said this on my last live, but I'll use it again. It's not like the guy's organ is in some weird shape or shaped like a staircase where we have to like twist it and maneuver it, straighten it out to make it fit. It fits. Hopefully not break it in the process. It fits. So why then, if our body fits, why don't we work together on the inside? What the fuck is wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong. We've been constructed, manipulated, hijacked, injected, brainwashed. There's so much to say, my head's exploding. For all those that know me, I'm a Heyoka empath, and I receive downloads as I speak. So I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to be flustered with many things. I'll jump here and there. But please, if you have a question, just write it down. I will get to it after I spill my beans. I have 2 books out already. One is called The Wisdom of the Penis. That's a game changer, truth teller, for sure, a ball buster. It's all in slang. It's on Amazon. Just check it. It also doubles up. I actually forgot to bring it today. I wanted to read a little bit out of it. We'll do it on the next live on Tuesday. That book, you won't be the same. It's over 500 pages. You can't read it in one sitting. Not because you can't read, but because it's too deep. It's written in slang. Yes, it is written in slang. But the insight in that book makes you read, because it's funny, and it'll make you go, and then you'll be like, whoa, what? Wait, what? And then you will see, it'll ricochet, your whole life will ricochet in front of your head. You'll be like, what? Oh my God, so that led to that. All those components, yeah, that did that. Oh my God. It's not that you're going to feel ashamed that you were a puppet of your own making, which was injected by society, but not society as a collective. They're the puppets, but the puppeteers, the few families on top. Dating back, which is the 3rd book I'm in the midst of writing, called Supernatural Badass. The 2nd book is all about what I'm talking today. The 2nd book, which you can get at my store, store.nicolecoleman.com. Go check it out. There's a lot of freebies there, a lot of downloads there. All my services are there. But primarily, I created 3 ebooks. This is a blast to even fucking read it. Like, you won't, this is not like gut-wrenching wisdom. This is insight in the face, in your face, like cosmic slap, whoa. You're like, I'm not fucking doing that again. It's not that no one has told you on your side, no, don't see her again. She's a skank, she's this, she's that. Or are you crazy going back to him? Oh, but I feel this and that. But you don't know why you feel. You don't know what it is you feel. You just feel. And it's under one label because we live in a world of labels. You got introduced to labels through therapists and through doctors. So now, as long as you think you've pinpointed the label, you have no idea what your fucking root is. That's pushing you there. And I fucking kid you not. Okay, this sweater's really hot. I almost feel like taking it off, but that means I'd be naked. That's not going to happen. I had a feeling this might happen, but that's okay. I'd rather, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, I'm hot. I get hot when I talk about these things. This book, called Sacred and Feral, is a map 111 no, that's, sorry, it's $111. I'm actually bundling it up with a month of the Heyoka voice drops, which is insight I give you, and usually it's about 10 minutes every single fucking day of your life per month. My smart girls who pre-ordered the book get it for life, no charge. It's $33 monthly. The 3 books are $111, $144. I'm taking that down to $88 for the 2 together because I really want a big wave. I want a big bunch of you, because that's all we need to make a tipping point. When you read this book, it's going to lay it out in a map, very simple language, very funny language, again, slang. It's going to be so descriptive in a funny as fuck way of your situation that it will take you way ahead of the pain in a different time zone so that you can be apart from the pain you're in now. Whether it's your yucky situation of where you're living, whether it's the guy, the girl, the family, it doesn't matter, your money, it doesn't matter. It's going to put you way over there. So you can stop being the energy of the pain, so you can't see your way forward because you're now pain. Pain has to attract more pain. You have to attract more crap to you. So you can't go past the crossroads. You can't move forward. When you are able, just like years after a scenario with someone or a relationship with someone, you move forward and you can laugh at it. This is what this book makes you do immediately. So in a sense, you will collapse timelines. You won't go through these withdrawals, this dead time, and then this shitty time, and slowly start to look at life different. All that time wasted when you could have been through it already, and you could have felt amazing already. That would be done. That's what this book does. Feel free to go there, store.nicolecoleman.com. This 3rd book that I'm writing is called Supernatural Badass. It is where I tackle the Bible. Now, I'm not an atheist, and for anyone that is, I invite you to just go ahead to your friendly neighborhood morgue and just open up one of those slabs and open up the eyes of a dead person. And when you look at their eyes, I want you to tell me that you don't see the spirit gone, removed, escaped. That's how you know that you can't fuck with that. Even to the simple naked eye, you can't fuck with that. So the reason this power gap between men and women today, women in a masculine distortion, which by default shoves men into their feminine neediness and incompetence and lack of self-confidence and lack of money and lack of everything under the book. And I'll get into it in depth in a second. Because when you as a woman are at work and you're a businesswoman, we all need to be in our masculine energy in business because that's logic, that's competitive, that's sacrificial, that's I'm not stopping till I get the job done, that's no, this is useless, I gotta switch it for this, that's being envious, that's being I need to make this happen, that's being nonstop. No room for feelings. So when you as a woman forget to leave your balls at the office, or if you're an athlete in the gym, and you take it home to your guy, last you checked was a masculine energy. 2 similar energies collide. I mean, that's a lot of scrambled eggs, many balls. And what happens is that in order to keep the peace, because only polarity works, it doesn't matter if you're same sex, you're not both masculine energy. just in body. One of them is a feminine energy. One's more seductive. Call it manipulation, call it get it her way, his way, whatever. One takes charge, one is more protective. In fact, I have to fucking say, it is only in these days, this is how messed up we've gone. It is only gay people, lesbian people, homosexual people, even in transgenders, because they are the same, not trans, but lesbians, 2 men, 2 women, because they are the same physically, their outline of energy is sharp. You can tell who's the feminine. You can tell who's the masculine. Not so much in men and women today. Because those that are in control through the media, through words, through xenoestrogens, which put estrogen in man's body, makes him weak and feeble. It's in all our birth control pills, which I say get off it right away. Protect yourself another way. It's in plastics, it's in many things, and it goes right into the water. Have you looked at the frogs lately? Have you looked at the fish lately? There are male fishes that no longer have penises. There are male fishes that can't tell which is a female, and they go to male and female. You have no idea what's happening, but in my book, Supernatural Badass, I'll probably have to self-publish it, I've laid it out all there. You can Google check everything. These are things they don't want you to know. What do you think bitch tits are? It's estrogen. There is, it's called hops. That's a short-term phrase for part of what it makes beer. And it's estrogen. It's an estrogen mimicker. So for men who drink a lot of beer, that's what happens. Or men, as they get older, when their estrogen flips on them, because we start to rise in our testosterone. Doesn't mean we turn into men, but we do turn more blunt, more everything, and it's even more important to just anchor yourself in the soft power or you fucking lose it. So there's a lot of things going on that is scheduled to make men soft. And therefore, a lot of things going on to make us women hard. Why? I'm trying to stay calm. This ties into a comment I got on my TikTok when I outlined all the dysfunction in men today and how they leak light, and a man just rammed me. And he said, you're misleading all the women. None of them have any, what did they say? They need to grow, they need to grow a tough skin. They just go from guy to guy to guy to guy. Now, I agree with guy to guy to guy to guy, don't jump, but you shouldn't be in there in the first place. If it's not a hell yeah, he's not a shoe where you get to try him out and, you know, and then go, fuck, you ever try to bring that shoe back? No, you have scuff marks. They don't take it back at the store. So, yes, I agree with the point he was making, but he was definitely a femme guy. And he didn't see the vid that I did on the women and where we're dysfunctional. But let me just say it very fucking clearly. We do not have thick skin. Do you notice? I remember when I was lying with a boyfriend that I had, and he always used to like hold me underneath, like right here, in the back of my arm. I don't know why. He just says, I can't stop touching you. It's just like your skin is so soft. Did I put any lotion there? Did I eat specifically something? Did I take vitamins specifically? No, but I am a very clean eater and I do take supplements and my energy is very clean. But he couldn't stop talking about that. Now, what is the prime difference? I know maybe a lot of us have forgotten. What's a prime difference in man and woman? Well, men have been born to survive the elements. A woman has not been born to survive the elements, the rain, the sun. This is why they have an after shadow. The thicker skin, the muscles. We're not talking women on drugs here in sports. The ruggedness, the I want to touch dirtness. You don't understand. We're not supposed to have a tough skin, and that's because Our strength, like our organs, are on the inside. Your strength, like your organ, is on the outside. Heads up. That's why only we can take you home. For no man knows the power and strength of all he's capable of until he looks in the eyes of a woman he loves, and she reflects back to him everything he's about, his mother, his woman. Nothing can touch him after that. Why? Why can nothing dent him? Because the feminine energy is wrapped in the silicone of spirit. Do you understand? Light, power, creation energy, God. That's not the masculine. And yes, of course, masculine has feminine. We have masculine. But we are dominated by our feminine. Not a lot of us women, but if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to plug everybody in. And when I have a platform with billions of women, it'll be done, almost overnight, because women, when people say wake up, a lot of people don't explain to you what that means. It's not, oh, I got to wake up. Okay, yeah. I got to read this, memorize this. I got to remember to do it this way. That's not waking up. That's like someone hitting you with a pot. Waking up is remembering where there's no effort to be your power. Because everything that was plastered on you and pasted on you and fake as fuck rolled off you, peeled off you, can't stick on you because you're plugged in. Your light is plugged into a circuit that is meant for your light. It's full blast. It's not plugged into a circuit breaker that is not for that plug. And it's not plugged into a circuit that has an interrupted wiring system where it blows up and burns your fingers. And it's not plugged into the wrong circuit where it blows you up and you get drained, where it zaps all of your energy, your light. So I'm going to burn this guy. I'm going to burn this guy because you, I need you women to write this down. Men, you can write this down too. Pay attention. Receive the words that people are telling you and especially accusing you of. The people that are adamant with a lot of force, telling you what you, here's the key word, should be like, do, that's where they hang themselves. And it's very easy to see. This man is a femme guy. Why? Because all femme guys, sensitive guys, want, and it is to their benefit, to see women as equals so that they can win out. Because when a masculine is in a distorted energy of a feminine, his feelings have to come ahead of yours, bitch. And you, being the sacrificial, competitive, ball-buster career woman, and you forgot to leave that there, you roll into the relationship in the energy of being sacrificial. And you now believe, erroneously so, that love equals sacrifice. Okay. I'm losing it right about now. This is the death of women, and the power of which men need from us to rise to the occasion. Not just organ, spirit, mind, so that they have something to build for and to. Do you understand that when Adam was here, I'm emotional because I can't even talk enough about this to enough people at one time so that women know the not only unnecessary pain they're in, but we have such a humongous responsibility You need to understand, oh, why don't men have the responsibility? I'll tell you why. Because we didn't come out of men's assholes. Men came from our vagina. Inside us, we have the energy that makes worlds. We are the energy that makes worlds. Do you It's a little challenging for me to walk around all day powerful as fuck with no other woman looking in my eyes that could be part of this tribe. I feel like I'm an alien. I feel like I'm on this bereft. Is it bereft? I'm dyslexic, just so you know. I can't even say the word as a Heyoka. They all are dyslexic, but I just want to say something. When Adam was born, he's the only one. Why did he come first? Why didn't woman come first? Just think of it practical, just from a practical standpoint. Since we create man, why didn't we come first and just plop him out there? Mother energy. Adam came first. That's why he got the giving energy, which is masculine energy. Woman came second, the receiving of the giving energy. That's why she came second. Adam came first, will always have as a masculine energy a need to give. It's very important for a man to feel he is of value to give. Although today's world, it's the women who adjust themselves and connect themselves to the value of what they can give and have accomplished. That's where you're fucked. A man has a need to give. Adam had a need to give because he wouldn't be able to justify his existence otherwise. Would he? Why is he here? To give. To build, to lead. To build, to lead for what? For where? A gem. A gem that will take the world forward. Not without him leading and not without him protecting, because he is made for the elements of the planet. She is not. She's fragile. She's sacred. She keeps him aligned with his true north. She keeps him anchored so he's connected to his North Star. He keeps her grounded because she's in a diffused way of thinking. That's why she can feel and think and this and that. You know, one time when I was in LA, I wrote my brother a letter. It was 7 pages, like a real handwritten letter, my baby brother. And when I saw him, he never mentioned it. And I said to him, "Did you get my letter?" He goes, oh yeah, I got it. I think he was 13 at the time. I said, you got it? Like, meaning, why didn't you tell me anything about what you thought? And he's like, yeah. And almost at the first page, I almost turned blue and passed out because you don't use commas. And I'm like, yeah, well, women don't use commas when they talk because they just move on, right? Men are the periods, or I should say exclamation points in our language. For without them, we would not have a break. Without them, we would not know when we are frazzled as fuck. Without them, we would not have structure. Without them, we would not be able to unravel and stretch in the coziness of the safety of their heart. Because you got to remember, we are the feminine inside of them. A masculine has his feminine inside personified in the woman. That's why he'll pick a goddess. He won't pick trash. He'll fuck trash if he's hungry, but he won't pick trash. Why would he pick trash? It's his heart. That's why you belong to him. That's why he sees you as his territory. Not because it's a possessive thing and you're like his artwork, but you are, but in a very endearing way. Because he feels responsible for you. That's what marriage is. A man telling the world, I'm taking care of this now. It's in my possession. I will take care of it. I will feed it. I will water it. I will irrigate it. I will make sure the surrounding is pleasant. I will leave the door open so it can fly and come in and out, whatever. But that all got fucked. It got distorted because men today are not looking for women, they're looking for mothers, and the women today are looking for needy men who they can feel secure in because they're not attached to their value without doing anything. So how would they make sure he stays? Well, if he needs me for like half of the bills, and if he needs me to figure out his plan in his life or his psychosis, and I can be a shrink, and I can be his nurse, and I can be his cheerleader, and his dietitian, and his girlfriend, and I can be his buddy, I can talk dirty with him, and then I can be his sexual partner, and then I can be his mother and take care of the little boy in him, and then I can even be the exorcist and get rid of his fucking addictions, and then I can rescue him for the next bitch, is what you've just done. You've cleaned him out like an enema. You've cleaned his shit out. Energetically, he's all up in your energy now. This is why 2 years later, he looks better. He looks more handsome. Why do you look dull? That's not how you looked when you met him. He didn't enhance your life. He drained your light. That's not to blame. That's to let you know what happened. You, of course, allowed this to happen. That's not, again, to blame. That's you being directed to make it happen. So today what I'm going to do is I'm gonna, and please ask me as many questions as you can. I'm gonna get to every single one of them. The Bibles have a lot of stories. They've been messed with, they've been tampered with, but there's a lot of gold in them. And for the women, I don't blame you. I understand exactly, and I see everything, all your dark spots. As a gifted Heyoka empath, that's what I'm born with the ability to see. Insights are really cool that way. You see, you can't see it with the naked eye. Your shrink can't see it. Your shrink can't help you anyway. Your shrink can label everything's been done to you so you can feel more like crap. But see, that'll satisfy you because masculine energy women are primarily logical. So they'll feel they have the knowledge that they are right. You see, they don't want to be happy. They would rather be right than be happy. And that's why they don't bring up things as they happen. They don't have the invisible balls to do that. They don't feel okay about who they are to bring up what is uncomfortable for the other guy to hear, the person to hear. They don't do that because masculine women are scared of walking the minute something gets off is in a bad way. Because their whole attachment to that person is validating that they're worth something. I would like to scream right now, but I'm not going to. But just pretend I am. Another male is your fucking validation of your value. And it would have to be because you see fuck all in who and what you are. You're not plugged into the value. You're plugged into what you can do and how capable you are of doing. That's a male energy, masculine energy. What do you think you're going to attract? A vagina mentality man who you'll love because he's the only link you have to your fucking feelings since you can't talk about him. He's very feely. He's teddy bear. But don't expect him to stand up for you in a crowd. And do expect him to have a temper tantrum in a crowd. If something came over you during a weak moment and you're like, that really made me feel uncomfortable, that you said you were flirting with the waitress, like you looked at her a little bit too long. What do you have to make a big deal? Like he will be irrational, disjointed, distorted, and project. And if you must know, it is in his heightened sense of shit that you know how guilty he is, because guess what? When someone is not guilty of something, it doesn't affect them, right? Because it's not true. That's why when I had a man say, well, I don't agree with what you're saying, I'm like, but what makes you think your opinion matters to me? The opinions of men that matter to me is in a man whose life is what I respect. He's the person I'll listen to because I know he's in the right energy. But it's not because I'll only listen to him because he's in the right energy. I'm lured to him only because I'm in the right energy, to have something only affect me that's in the right energy. But you'll be affected when you're in the wrong energy with what's in the wrong energy. You can try to remember what I'm saying. It's very insightful and you'll say you're very wise, but it won't feel natural to you. Now, this is to all the women who are on top of their ass, on top of their game. I am an international champion of 3 sports, swimming, gymnastics, and bodybuilding. For all those, by the way, because it's been a week of training sessions. I started with 1 client and 4 more. A very exciting aspect of my life is my training. I'm an international trainer. I train CEOs, celebs, politicians. I can design it in your house or at the gym. It's quite a whole other ordeal because you're going to be learning it on a champion level, one-on-one. For those that are interested, hit me up or DM me now, training, because the major reason I really encourage my women, and again, there are women who do not know or has seen pictures of me as a fitness model that is not, I don't look like a bulky person. I look fit as fuck and I look dangerous, like a panther. Like I walk down the street when I'm fit and I have every man, woman and child and dog look at me and smile. They're not smiling because it's a sexual thing. They're smiling because of the vitality that bounces off your sovereign ruleship of self. When I was 16, I remember, and I don't usually go to timelines and ages and stuff, but it was right after I had my sweet 1/6. And I remember I went to the beach and I never really had friends. If there was someone I had, it was only one girlfriend. And it turned out she stabbed me in the eyes, so it was kind of like that. It was 2. But I went to the beach and I remember out of the corner of my ear, where my peripheral vision is like around the corner, I noticed 3 other girls all together. And I knew where I was going, they would see me. And I walked there and I sat on my blanket and I took out what I was reading at the time. And quite frankly, I think it was about God. I think it was something in the Bible, a story that I wanted to let it marinate in me. And before I even look down, I hear, because my hearing is insane, it's above average, my hearing, and I read lips. But my hearing, I heard them say, the leader of the pack, the alpha woman, she was like, look at that bitch. It's like she needs no one. Envy, ding, 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 ding. Now, when she did that, it was the first recollection that I remember ever having, that I was something that another girl aspired to be. I didn't know I had that. And that's the same with grace. It's the same with love. It's the same with giving. You're not aware that you're doing it because you're too busy giving. So those people who say, I always help everybody, and I'm such a good person, and I love this one. When I start talking to a stranger, they hear something and they see it's not common conversation. Right away, they're like, oh, you're so spiritual. I want you to know I'm very spiritual. I've read these books and I'm very spiritual. And when people say I'm very spiritual, the first thing I say is, oh, too bad, because I'm not in that whole thing. Really? But you sound like it. Yeah, I'm busy doing. I'm not busy reading and fucking telling people. Spirit moves people. It doesn't go, hey, look at me. It doesn't have that energy. It's, you know, I had someone else, another femme guy, who was trying to be funny, but I wasn't laughing. And he had to reassert himself and say, everybody laughs when I tell a joke. I said, well, I guess I'm not everybody, or, you know, whatever. And then he concluded, your sense of humor is warped. I said, really? Because I don't laugh at your stuff? And I said, well, when someone tries to make something funny, it's not funny to me. I laugh. I remember the last time I laughed was when a guy did a double take at me in the gym, and he walked into a cement pillar, and it cracked his nose a bit. I was on the floor. I was on the floor. I was laughing because to me, human nature is just like really funny, right? To me, it was just hilarious. And I told him that, and he says, yeah, you have a warped sense of humor. So later on in the day, I happened to see him again. And something in my actions made him laugh hysterically. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was actually serious, but he found it adorable and funny. He goes, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. You're so funny. I said, do you notice that I have a warped sense of humor by your standards, but I happen to make you laugh without trying? So all I'm saying, when you are in a distorted masculine or feminine, you'll have people's distortions, labels, antics put on you. And you won't even realize you're not up for sale. Do you understand? You're not there to be had by their stuff. But you're not going to be able to even tell the difference. So now, keep the questions happening, sweetheart. I see they're loading up. I'm just going to answer all of them. Don't worry. I want to get to the gold of this live. The power gaps between men and women, why men are leaking their power, and why are women calling that in. That is what I'm tackling right fucking now. So, and I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm going deep right about it, okay? And this is from my Heyoka Empath lens. And so you know also, I'm just going to read my list here. This is so much fun. I can't tell you how much I love this stuff. I just wish my hair was different. I don't even give a fuck about my hair. But to me, I really like to look presentable. But anyway, all right, I'm so happy you're all here. All right. Let me just have a little bit of electrolytes. This is so much fun. Don't make me laugh. One time I was doing a live and I finished drinking and I was like, and I saw a comment and it all went over my phone. I'm very lucky. Everybody got splashed. I'm very lucky my phone was okay. So, for those that don't know what a Heyoka empath is, a Heyoka empath is someone that is an energy disruptor. You cannot fucking be around me. I remember a guy walked around me and he had a stomach ache. I knew there was a gas problem right away and stuff. I started farting on my own. And just, they're not like man farts. Just so you know, lady farts are not like man farts. Ours aren't even farts. They're just like puffs of air, pink puffs of air, although when I was with a boyfriend, I don't know. He was like, oh my God. It's like oh my God, it's like a fallout. He went on the ground and he's fucking crawling on his elbows. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, because heat rises or some shit. I don't know. He's like, he thought he saw some green mist. It was ridiculous. He was making such a huge fucking deal. He's like, what did you eat? Like, oh my God. And I'm like, I don't know. But it just came out kind of, silently without any warning. And so he went crazy. Oh, he yells at me. He's like, what did you swallow? A dead monkey? I'm like, no. Like, do I look like I fucking eat monkeys? But anyway, it was just, it was pretty toxic, I have to say. But that was a weird situation. But all I'm saying is, lady farts are different, okay? Puffs of air. Now, so I saw him and I started releasing puffs of air. What Hayoka Empath does is that it disrupts negative energy that is distorting your body, your mind, your field, and it absorbs it, your darkness, and it disrupts your negative shit. So after I started farting, he didn't smell it or anything. He was away from me. I came up to him and I put my hand on him and I said, you're going to start to feel better in a second. And he was an older man. He says, yeah. And I go, stand up straight. And he goes like this, and then he lets it out. And he goes, oh, I'm like, that's okay. Let me go stand over there though. And then he felt better. It also happens to me with ailments, people having a sore shoulder. When I used to go live on TikToks, or at least 15, 20K people there, at least 3-4 girls with neck issue. And I'm like, okay, someone has a fierce neck fucking issue. I need you to get off right now or do this. And I would show them how to fix their neck. So when I have a one-on-one, I always have it on Zoom. I don't care that people want to pay $2,500 to see me up close. It's not going to happen. I have to have something between me and you. Now, so Heyoka Empath disrupts. It's like a shit disturber. I'm like a shit disturber. Your negative energy, so you feel light and happy. And sometimes, a lot of the times, it's done without words. But when I'm focused on you, on your dark spots, it means I have the insights that are not seen by a naked eye, like I said, by a shrink or a doctor. It's inside you. I was born like this. It's like, now, when I say I was born like this, I don't mean I had a life in a fucking palace. I mean I was initiated and born into this. For those who are chosen, for those who are gifted, you can take one look at my face or my energy and you know. You just fucking know how much I've walked through and did not get burned, and walked through unscathed, which is why I can take you there as well, the exact manner. It's kind of like when you're forced to wait and wait and wait. The hell of that is that you master patience. And when you walk through fire and darkness and fire, and you scream and no sound comes out, no one can hear you, or you scream and there's no one around in the world for you. There are no drugs, there are no people. There is just a fall, and sometimes it feels like your brain is separated from your body. For those of you that feel like you've lost your mind at any point, I want you to know you didn't lose it. It wasn't a breakdown. It was a breakthrough. The only thing is that in your guilt-ridden religion, doctrine, ingrained mindset, you believe you have to have a breakdown of hell before you have your light breakthrough, and I'm here. I can't bear people to go through that anymore. It hurts me too much. I do this for purely selfish reasons, because I feel your shit. Do you understand? Therefore, I have to make sure you don't feel shit. And I will make sure you don't feel shit. there's so much to teach. So let's keep moving. So the insight that comes to me daily, and for those that want to experience it, I am releasing 4 days on me as a gift to deliver insights, usually about 10 minutes a day, to your voice notes. If you'd like to enjoy that for 4 days, DM me gift or reach out to me somehow and say gift, and I will attach you to my Forbidden Collective group. You know, I had, and she's so breathtaking beautiful. Another client of mine recently reconnected with her. And she had a tiny 10-minute left session to do, and she wanted to take that up due to a purchase she had made earlier a few months ago that was gifted to her. And because those that bought the trilogy book, Sacred and Feral, early, get lifetime supply of these insights right to your ear. It's not about, oh, today's a purple day and you're going to go see a car. It's not a fortune cookie. The thing that is fucking uncanny is that it's going to relate to all your fucking issues. Don't ask me how it happens with me, but when I sit there in my bed and I look up at the ceiling and then I take it and I press record, and what comes through is exactly what you need to hear that day. And sometimes more than once. And thank you, Sherry, because she's the one that most hammers me. She's like, Nicole, this was so meaningful. Oh my God, everybody. And I'm like, oh, and I thought that was so basic. I thought, oh my God, that's not going to get a response because it was just trivial. Everybody knows that. That's the ABC. It's not deep enough. She's like, no. So when I get this heard from people, and this beautiful, breathtaking client, I don't know a client that I have that's ugly or plain. I really attract stunning women. I do. It's amazing. I'm just seeing all the pictures. So this one hadn't joined the group yet, and she booked our little mini session for a reason that had to do with something specific. And then the morning of, or the night before, I happened to feel, because now she's attached to the group, she's the newest person, something, and guess what it did? It eliminated the need for her to even see me. As soon as she saw me, she says, well, I did have an issue with this, but then I heard what you said, and you know what? There's no issue, we can just talk. And I'm like, no, we're not gonna just talk. Because she was so cute. She was like a cupcake. I want to take a bite of her. She was so cute. I had to be serious. I had to be like business, but as a sister, I just wanted to snuggle. She's like, we can just talk. When an immediate issue is taken care of, it's like a pimple. It's like, squeezed out a bit, the dirt is out. Now we go to the underneath dirt and it surfaces. So right away I'm like, no, boom, 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 boom. She's like, oh, yeah. Like it didn't dawn on her. So it was fucking hilarious. So those voice drops I'm giving as a gift for 4 days for you to experience it. There's no way it's not going to have an effect of you. If you're scared to have a change that involves no pain, don't DM me. If something inside of you is going, and it's pulling you and you're intrigued, that's your heart, which is never off, saying, just fucking do it. Just do it. It's not even about, you don't lose anything if you do, it doesn't cost. It's not that. Because if it was that, I'd have 30,000 people to do, and I don't think that my phone supports that. Then we would have to do a whole other thing. So those people that are doing it now, before everything blows up, I'm so glad I just remembered this. I'm going to do this on a vid, but I just got to tell you this. I'll get back, I swear, but I just got to tell you this. When you're really tapped in and aligned, you can see, like you see this is an orange, okay? All right. Peel. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. So what does that peel tell you? It tells you that an orange was there, right? When Columbus went on his boat and all the men are like half dead and just, they're like, this was the dumbest thing I ever thought. What happened? What happened when nothing happened? What happened? Columbus didn't just see land and say, oh, land. No, because land doesn't just pop out of the ocean. What happened is there has to be a few twigs in the ocean, leaf, birds, bird shit on his head. Something had to reveal itself, like the peel. So when you are aligned with your divineness, divine throws something. It's a humongous peel. It's a fucking orange in your face. And you know what? My orange in my face. I just focused on my fam here in my YouTube because I needed to pivot from my TikTok. First of all, it was getting very dark. It was getting very dark. When you start showing me tortured kids and tortured hostage, that to me is messed up. That to me. And something else also happened, and I'm like, oh, now I'm going to have to get lawyers involved. People are taking and copying all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go to my YouTube. I revamped my whole YouTube. I start building from there, like about a month ago. And so I put my intro vid, which is very interesting. I invite you all to go check it out. So it's at about 100 views or something like this. Yesterday, as I'm feeling electrified, I'm like, oh my God, everybody's resonating. They're fucking resonating. I feel so valued. I feel so fucking privileged. I'm not fucking holding back. This person that knows me is like, you work every day. I'm like, what's your point? He goes, because he's a femme guy, right? He goes, yeah, that's how, when I used to work every day. I go, that's nice. He goes, but you don't stop. I go, yeah, okay, bye, gotta go. I was feeling such a surge, and I'm like, something's about to happen. And I go look at my YouTube channel, and I see the intro vid, but it wasn't 96 views. I'm gonna show this because I fucking took a screenshot. 67,373 views. I don't know if you can imagine how I was. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? And I start quickly going all over the place. And then I see it turn back to normal. What was that? What was that? That was a prophetic glitch. Is that the right word? Remember, I'm dyslexic. Hayoka empath are dyslexic. And whatever you do, don't call me that thing with the ears and the fucking wrinkles that needs fucking 3 Botox all in one wrinkle. What do they call that thing? Yoda. Don't call me that. Like when people started calling me, you're like Yoda, I'm like, you can call me Yoda Lini. That's fine, but don't call me Yoda. But I'm letting you know, a lot of you don't realize when life is giving you a kiss, when life is saying, smell this. Do you like it? Here, I want to give you a taste of it. Oh. That cleared my whole brain waves. You know what that taste is like for you? 2 people kissing in front of you. 2 people kissing in front of you. A Ferrari. A big building with a name on it that you always thought, I want my name on a building. But what do? You scoff at it. You go, You go, why can't it happen to me? Because you're not recognizing that life is saying, okay, Okay, let's get serious. Yes? This one? Oh, no? Okay. No? Okay. Okay, we'll just leave you like that. So things are seen not in its normal way. Oh, there's one other thing as a Heyoka empath that I do. I go into your past lives. I, again, tried to tell a femme guy that I happened to be walking and seeing him talking when he was complaining about how life and relationship dynamics were today. And I said, well, it's going to be the responsibility of the women now. He's a blamer of women. I said that on purpose. I meant it though, and I'll explain. He said, no, you don't understand. I'm like, oh, okay, explain. See, the women were like that because they had fathers or things happened when they were young. I'm like, I'm way beyond there. I'm way beyond that. What you're not seeing is way beyond that. We didn't come from men, like I said. We don't come from a man's asshole. They come from us. That means we inspire. We uplift. We create. We design. And we enrich. It's their job to protect that which builds the inside of him that nothing can touch. Nothing can touch. Nothing can touch him. We shield his heart, his spirit. There's no negative entities, debris of this world. Who can take a man out of a fucked up state of mind the quickest? Who? Whether it's money, whether he lost this, whatever. Man has a problem. He's in his IRS lobe. What's the fastest way to kick him out of there? Not you as a woman talking logical, playing fucking shrink, I'll tell you that much. But you, in your sensuality, when you look good, when you smell good, when you sound good, when you feel good, and when you taste good. You see, because when that thing that is all her senses personified, aka sensuality, feels so good within herself, emptied her shit, went for a massage, did her hair, did her nails, has this lotion that smells amazing, loves her body, loves herself, understands her value to her man and to herself. Because the woman's value of her essence is like a fountain, pure water. So when she doesn't give to herself, you can't get light from a man. You can only get light when you're doing something that you love. That's why when those of us that have a passion project, and if you don't yet, come to me, I'll definitely help you build one. I'll tap into your gold from your past life. That means you'll have no competition with what we design. That's usually how it works. Those women, when you do something you love, you can't stop. Although you stop when you're tired, but you love doing it so much that it almost feels as if it loves you back. You need nothing and no one, fuck all. And that is what a man loves. He doesn't like to feel that you need him to do. Because this is critical, please share this. A man's heart can't be bought. A woman can, because she doesn't bond with her heart. She bonds with her body. When a man enters a woman, that's how she bonds. She doesn't fall in love, she falls in bondage. That's why he can mistreat you and you can't leave. But a man doesn't fall in bondage, although certain men can be lured that way and whatnot, but not a real man. A real man, he falls in love. It's a decision of his mind. It's not like, okay, I've decided today I'm going to fall in love with her. It's more like, oh God, she's on my mind. I can't not think about her. Oh my God, it's like, I see her. Everywhere I look, I see her. She's inside of me. I see her. Oh, wait. No, don't. Am I? No. Oh, fuck. I'm in love. That's it. And that is it. That's it. He can't explain his way out. No man can take him out. No man can say shit about that girl. Nothing. It's like a vault. It's like a vault. It's not that she can shit on his face, because the moment she deceives him, that's it. They're not stupid like we are, where we take him back after they've deceived him. And I'm not talking about myself, but the majority of you. And that is because we bond through our body, and that's why men can have sex with a lot of women and not get pulled. But we have sex with the same person 30 days. That's a lot of oxytocin release. And that's a love fucking drug. And I mean drug. And if we can insert that drug into all the politicians, everyone would love each other. But that's what it is. It enhances trust and love and safety. It's a drug. So a man makes the mental decision when he acknowledges that he's in love with you, and then it's hook, line, and sinker. He's like a baby whale that just showed up on the beach, like sick. Like, that's it. So I'm trying to just track back. I know there was quite a few places. So like that, when you are in your true masculine, in your true feminine, life will show you prophetic changes. I'm about to blow. I'm glad you all are here. I'm about to blow. And that's not to do with men, okay? Just in case you didn't know there was an indent paragraph there, okay? I'm talking about the knowledge I'm giving. I'm talking about the insight I'm giving. I'm talking about what is in Google searchable. I'm talking about even those that tried to copy me, they cannot duplicate me. Because I'm going to teach every fucking one of you how to read energy. This is why when you go on a date, it doesn't matter what he says, which, by the way, needs to be important for you masculine bitches, because you're here. And those girls that are here, pay attention to words. And what if he's a skilled wordsmith? What if he studied 10 psychological ways how to fuck you up? It doesn't matter. He will master you. There's always someone that can be a better manipulator, but you know what can't be touched? Feminine energy can't be touched. She can't be touched. You can't fuck with her. Empress energy, divine energy, you can't. Because her brain's a bonus, yes, but let me just snuggle in this power for a second so I can get the right words. Picture a Christmas tree that gets all lit up when it's plugged in. That means there's happiness, there's family, there's life. Okay. When a woman is on a date and she's in her Empress energy, she's not analyzing with her energy going that way. She's receiving. She's feeling his aura. And that's a little advanced. What I like to do in my sessions, and again, go to store.nicolecoleman.com. You'll see I have 2 packages. But if you want to go to nicolecoleman.com, I do have a 3rd package of 3, package of 4, and package of 8. They're all interesting packages. And if you want just one, I'm still releasing, but we are veering away from those. But for this crowd, if you want one, DM me solo and I will release that to you. When you have a session with me, especially in a package where you role play energies, you're not learning words to say to your guy or your family or your boss to make them understand your value and switch their behavior. Words don't change people. Experience does. That's why if you're the type of person to try to tell a joke and you're insulted, it doesn't make anyone laugh. It's because it's cerebral. It's not an experience. But if you tell a story and you're experiencing, and it's funny to you, it's going to be funny to another person, right? You cannot rescue without first rescuing yourself. You cannot be there for others without you being the thread of that pushing through you. You cannot. This is why my stuff resonates. And this is why you're so fucking valuable to me. Do you have any idea how polished I've become at this point after almost 3 years, TikTok, 155,000 practically, over 3,000 clients from that channel alone. But now I'm focusing on my fam here. The darker the issue, the more hidden the dark spots, the sharper my scalpel is, that's all. I owe my life to you. Let me reword that. I am filled with grace that I don't know the word give the fuck up, so that I can get to the other side, so that now I am privileged to be there for you. You know, there are a lot of people that are very kind, those are empath, but they give the kindness in a way that doesn't work for them. They give it when they're depleted because they want to prove they're a good person. And then there's those who don't give a fuck. And they do it for the title or what it looks like. Every action you take in energy is a frequency and it's a signal. Now, the signal that's pure, where do you think it goes? Where do you think it goes? When you change a life, and let me explain, it's not just on this big level that I'm doing here for the masses globally. It's when you give all your time to a dog, a stray dog, to an old person, elderly, to two young girls arguing, to someone needs direction. You know, sometimes in my travels, last 2.5 years, I've been traveling worldwide and I've been talking wherever I can. These are not big, huge events. They're bookstores, cafes, events about the book that I have on Amazon called The Wisdom of the Penis, SOS Manual. Yeah, that's a ball buster, that one, for sure. Sorely needed in today's polarity-deprived way of living, which is the reason why all the problems are there. It's also the reason why there's 80% of women with autoimmune diseases. Only 20% of men. Why? Because back to what this guy, if you're from the beginning of this live, this guy said to me, oh, you shouldn't be talking about all these negative things of men. And because the women are having a problem, they're running around, they're going from guy to guy to guy. They should grow a tough skin. Oh, okay, so they do have a tough skin and that's a whole problem. That's why your body as a woman is in dis-ease. That's why fibromyalgia, that's why chronic fatigue, that's why arthritic, any autoimmune, anything, celiac, anything is linked to one thing, you attacking your heart, because that is your body is a blueprint of how your energy's flowing. So you attacking your heart by not letting it speak. It'll hurt his feelings. Speak! I might look a certain way. Speak. I don't know if I have the right to say this because there's children starving in other parts of the world. Your heart is your thermostat. It's your treasure. It's your alarm system. It's all of you. It's in your heart. It's designed that way. It's like there's a magnetic field coiled around it that naturally unravels towards what would give you joy, but you don't go there. Or it doesn't unravel because it's frozen, because you don't even want to go there. There's too much pain. So that's what's going on. And for a woman to have a tougher fucking skin, you can't tough a fucking skin with estrogen fucking body. The two don't go together. The two don't go together. So why? Estrogen isn't about boobs. Estrogen is a feeling hormone. What's its job? It processes and absorbs feelings all day long. You're a sponge all day long. You take in and you confuse other people's negative shit with it being yours, and you wonder why you're depressed, which is expression stuck. You can't even speak to your boyfriend, your family, or anybody there, so you don't know what's yours. And that's what depression is. Expression stuck. It's a form of compression. It's very interesting. I hope I remember where I'm at, or someone remind me. I'm veering off. So you've all have heard of this man, Bashard, okay? And it flashed on my YouTube thing. And there is great parallels of similarities that we talk about for sure. But there's other things he doesn't answer, and I want to answer them here and now, okay? So he saw depression not as expression stuck, but as compression, which I agree with, where a person is moving inward to try to find out where the answers are. But the thing is, there's no answers because you're in the dark. Now, this woman stood up and she said to him, okay, so this reality, that reality, well, you know, we're all trying to get to this point and that point, and she said, but what's the point of it all, right? This is a lady who's very heavy, so you already know when a woman says, what's the point? Because she's in a dick mentality, because she's used to going from point A to point B done. She's not the type to enjoy the journey in the car. She's about, what do we do when we get there? She can't sit back and take in. She's not even comfortable in her own physical body. So she stood up and said all the typical things a masculine energy woman would do, like, what's the point of all this? He said, to live life, to experience. She said, but what's the point of experience? Do you understand? He couldn't touch on the masculinity because that's not his thing. He touched on the truth, but he couldn't give her an answer. But if I was there, I would tell her. First, I would say go to the gym and get back into your mode of sensuality, because fat is not where it's at, and it creates a thickness between the safety and sensitivity of your heart. Do you ever see these really thin women who dress really lightly and just, they're like paper, and they walk with such security, like nothing can harm them, because they're aligned with feminine energy. Then there's the thicker ones who've had things done to them, which is why they're thicker. We know this. They walk with more padding because they feel safer. Now, when you're in a masculine energy, you analyze things and you want one-word answers, which means you can't go up here above the scenario of what happened. You can only go to, he did this, he's at fault. I'm done, I won. But she doesn't feel better, she's still stuck, and it's still the same blame game. So what is this? What is this blame? One finger? What's that? 3 fingers? Pointing where? You see my point? Even this, pointing where? So that's not to blame you, it's to empower you. It's to empower you that you created all this. Not because you were a dumbass, but because everything inside you made this happen. It's to give you a sense of power that if you created all this, perhaps, let's just consider that perhaps you just didn't line up with your value, potential, and the desired outcome to create something else. So as an international trainer, I would say it's the wrong technique. I remember giving that to a client of mine after him going 2 years to a shrink. I said one thing and he was like, "You're right." But you see, he went like this and shook. He felt lighter because the energies holding pain, shame, guilt in place opens up with insight, not data, not more information. This territory of logic and data doesn't reach energy inside the body. So now, and I'm going to answer questions. I promise. I'm just going to outline what this live is about. I want to outline the 10 or 11 traits of distorted, weak men, where they're leaking their fuel, their power from a Heyoka lens. And then, I hope you'll stick around, because then I'm going to tackle my bitches. Now, I want you to fully understand. I don't know, given that I'm a hardcore athlete, the odds of me winning the bodybuilding lightweight was just, it was retarded. I wasn't supposed to even place in the top 5 because there's politics involved and all those kind of things, and it was my first national, all those things, right? And I didn't have a coach to train me. I always trained myself. I did have Charles Glass, for those that know who he is. He's the guru of the dating world. He's the guru of the training world. He does Olympic people and bodybuilders. He charges like $500 an hour. He didn't charge me a thing for the diet. Why? Because he came up to me one day and he said, "You train 100%. And I looked at him, I was like insulted. I'm like, who are you comparing me to? Like women, average women? Like I didn't understand why he was saying that. I said, all your athletes train 100%. He's like, yeah, but they're on drugs that make them train that way. You train 100%, 100% of the time. That was the difference. And then he asked me when I'm doing my leg day, and I said, why? And he says, well, I want to bring my men in front of you because I need them to see the fire in your eyes, as if that would help. But he said to me, don't plan on achieving so high and this and this and that. One of my clients came to watch, and they said, as soon as you walked on that stage, and I wish I could show you, I do actually have a video of it. I'm wondering if I should post that on my YouTube, but other than everybody that's here, I don't know, people like, what is this, a sports channel? I don't know, but if there's enough of you maybe asking for it, maybe I will. You will pass out when you see. It's beautifully done, how they filmed it and everything. I directed the whole film guy at the end when we got all the shots, but I'm trying to remember where I was. So they said, my client, when you walked on stage, it was like it was yours. I never had anybody let me know anything about my energy, presence, whatever. It was way before I knew what I was and could really hold it. The gold nuts I had as a spiritual being type of thing. But what was really fascinating is when NBC News was taking the top 5 girls, and I was one of the top 5 girls, assumed to make it number 5, but I won. When we were lining up and he was interviewing us, he says, "Let me start with you, Nicole." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Tell me why you love weights." And I talked about the sensualism of a woman, being in that animalistic place, of taking out all the energies of the day and just being animal there and being safe, and how it connected me to my sensuality as a woman, because there is no competition. It was like a fucking... Anyway, I say this thing and the guy's like this. And I'm like, "Are you sick? Do you have like a migraine or something going on?" Like, I figured he started at 3 a.m. in the morning. It was 7 now, but he got there really early. And he goes, "Oh, no. I'm just thinking, I got to knock off all the other girls and give you more airtime, because what you just said is so powerful." So earlier on, is through other people, is when I learned that things that are coming out is for everybody. It's not just my opinion. So the reason I'm saying this to you is because, as a hardcore athlete, when I read the 11 traits of a woman, I know I don't have to guess. None of you hardcore bitches, deeply entrenched in your masculine energy, none of you will come even close to the severity of stupidness, of fuckery, of sacrificialness, of masculine mud pies that I was in. That was me. That was me. None of you will be as severe. None of you will be as severe as I am, as I was. And, I remember I was thinking, do I even mention that? Like, do I need to mention that? Isn't it implied that I was so fucked up? Like, so everything, that so far removed, based on how I was raised and my dad, and can it just be implied? Must I admit it? But it still bothers me to admit it, because I'm very private, but I just don't want you to feel it's been too long. Nothing can change, because that cannot be further than the truth. So let's start with the men, then I'll go to the woman. Then either I'll answer some questions, or I'll go more into the depths of how this happens. Maybe I'll answer the questions first, and if we have time, I'll do that. Or meet me Tuesday, 3 p.m. I'll continue part 2, and I'll actually take apart how this materializes, how this fucking happens, so you'll understand. Because when I put scenarios with it, you know the segue. And again, for those of you who just came in here, I'm not a normal person. I have a life of a humongous responsibility. I have to give out the insights that I get. I can't sit with them or I'll explode. I feel all your pain, so I must make sure you get the fuck out of it, because I don't like to feel pain. I feel, it's not that it's very different than when you see someone in pain and you're like, "Oh, I feel bad." I don't feel bad. I feel your fucking pain. Do you hear me? I feel it. And it's a lot. It's a lot to have in my body. It's a lot. I care. Very deeply for the loss of lives that will happen on an earth that is meant to be so playful in love, so sacred in union, and so magical in a connection. It bothers me when that's ripped out of your fabric. It bothers me. I don't let things bother me. I make sure they don't bother me. So, without further ado, let's begin. 11 traits of distorted weak men, so you learn to recognize them. As a guy, you will leak in your aura. Here's what that means. You'll walk into a room, and instead of people feeling safe, they feel your neediness right away. What that is it's a constant low-level begging energy, and it's like a yucky feeling, just so you know. You'll be tempted to talk a lot. You're an over-talker, a story dumper, flexing over and over your old triumphs, your traumas, recycled over and over, resumes, things, and or your plans they never quite get around to. Bro, that's how you know you never get around to. Because as soon as you talk, the intensity of making those plans happen, they get diluted. It's like blowing your load. It's like you lost all your semen now, you're tired. That's what it's like. You need to keep that semen. Keep. And also, bro, nobody asked. Nobody asked about these things. Real men don't audition, okay? Next, false generosity. So you're doing nice things, but you complain, whine, and bitch, like as if that woman owes you a receipt for everything you've done for her. It's like you keep track of it. That's not giving. That's manipulation. And you know what? That so pulls you away from your power of, and I'll tell you something. I understand why you're doing that. You're doing it because you're not attached to your wealth of all you're about, that you have a surplus to give. It's not any different than a woman who is sacrificial and gives what she doesn't have and then sends you the price tag later. It's the same thing. Next, energy chaser. So what'll happen is you orbit a woman instead of anchoring her, because you're trying to feed off her shine instead of holding your own power. Women feel that as well. So they will, and it's funny because, let me relay it to you in this way. I was very blessed to get in a top acting school. I didn't want to act. My manager made me audition, big audition in LA. I wanted to get in for dancing. I ended up not making the dancing, but I made the fucking acting. It was ridiculous. Like I said to her, do I look like I have a single-digit IQ? I'm not an actress. No, you are, but you don't know it. I'm like, because you feel people's things too deeply. You can go into any character, and it's actually going to be very real, because you become them, which was true. But I want to say this in the sense that these men who leak their power, leak it because they're always having a mirror judging themselves. First of all, they have a distorted view of who they are. And if you want to go one-on-one with that, it's not a simple, it's my mother's fault, although she was a critical role in it. And now she's like stuck up your ass in that way. And you're actually attracting a version of her, even though you've outgrown that. So there's all kinds of resentment there. It has to do with your past lives. When I go into a person's past life, it's not about telling you a story of who you did and didn't do or murdered or anything, God forbid, and all that stuff. It's not that. What karma is, let me explain karma. When you are disjointed, which is distorted energy, and you are in an energy unlike the body you came with, so you're a woman, but you're in the energy of a man. What that does is it gives you access to all energies that are also distorted. So a man's energy is protective, sacrificial, logical, and that. It will be that in you, but it will be worked against you. So instead of your brain working for you, it will work against you. You won't ask questions like, how is this the best thing that could ever happen, him breaking up with me? You'll say, why did he break up with me? What's wrong with me? And dumbass questions like that, which your brain always has to answer, will give you 1,001 reasons. If you sit there for an hour, you're asking the wrong question. The logic will be distorted. It will be fear-based. Your perception will be fear-based. Because your primary energy isn't supposed to be logic, because you were given a container with tools and buttons and all kinds of cool things for a feminine energy body. So that's why estrogen, being a feeling hormone, can't have tough skin. It can't be tough, because then it has to deny its feelings, in which case the body will make you sick, because it acts in line with how your energy's distorted. That's why more and more women have the autoimmune diseases, 80%, and only 20% of men. But that's also why more and more men are suicidal than women when they break their heart, have a heart broken. I could not believe when I was training a guy, him and his boyfriend. His boyfriend thought I was a guy he was seeing. I corrected his journal of how he should eat and all that. And I guess his boyfriend assumed that because the guy really loved me, I was training him. Anyway, the boyfriend assumed that I was a man and that his guy was in love with me and about to leave, and he hung himself in the bedroom. When my client came to me and he said, my guy thought that you were a guy and he thought I was in love with you, I lost it. He wasn't crumbled by it though. It was like, he was like, yeah. I was mortified. Needless to say, the guy that lost his life was the feminine energy in the relationship. But all I'm telling you is that he misread something. And he didn't know that the personal trainer was a girl. So karma, when you are the body of a woman and you are distorted in male energy, gives you access to an attic of all other distorted, which has to be fearful negative energy. So go all through your past, and it'll be like a big, let's say it was a giant rake. Bring all those energies to your present, and you're filtering your life through that. Your reference point is all your pain. So if your reference point is your pain, you're not going to be in an alley that isn't any pain, where there's no pain. If your reference point is an environment of pain, your energy has to attract you to chaos and more pain. Not creative ability, where your mind isn't miscreating, but it's creating new places and high-level people you want to be with. So, by the way, when you go in your attic, you also go into your past lives, where you were a man, and you had many traits that you learned. They all got slapped on. Usually when I go there, it's one or two traits that are clinging to you in this lifetime. And the parents that you chose, and you did choose them, they were there to be orchestrated as a means to regurgitate and stir up old shit. And when that old shit, mom leaving, dad hurting, mom hurting, all those things happen, it will send the frequency out to attach to a parallel of that which you didn't finish in last lifetime. You see, the reason you come here as a baby without a memory is to have a fresh lifetime. And you can't have that when you are in a distorted energy. So you either learn about this early on and alter your ways, or life comes about where you don't succumb to the darkness, as in my case, and you climb out of this. Sometimes it's like a pit. It's like a well you don't think you can ever climb out, but you never stop, so you climb out. If you never stop, you will get out. And it's really interesting. I was thinking about this last night. You know, I always had this thing in my mind as a little girl where destiny, that's it. And because I was in a healthy space in my mind before life got to me, parents got to me, I was like, I can't fuck up if I try. That was my savings grace. I'm going to get there one way or another. It just may take longer. I might just have to go through more. But I always felt that. Now that I'm aware of a lot more things, I now choose to get there faster, collapse time faster, get there in an easier way, not get there in a way where I felt I've paid enough, therefore I've earned it, which is masculine energy, sacrificial energy. Don't want to be there. So feminine guys, like in acting, a lousy actor is one who can talk to himself in the mind while he says the word. You can only either be present, receiving the words of your fellow actor, which means you're authentic, or you say the line separate from the sense of self, so only a portion of you goes there, and the other portion of you is held back, judging how you've done, which means the energy pushed to that person is not authentic. It carries with it an ego, it carries with it a judgment, and it's stained. So then the person receives it, doesn't response back in an authentic way, because not all of you is there. You've held back a portion. So that person holds back a portion because they already feel the judgment. Do you see how convoluted? It's like guys having sex with a woman. They're touching her here, touching her there. They're not paying attention, because believe me, all you have to do is pay attention to how she's responding, the things she can't fake. They're not paying attention to that. They're asking her stupid questions. And believe me, if a girl can answer, she's not flying away. You've failed already, because her body isn't elevating, levitating, which it would, because what we want to do is leave our mind. So don't fucking ask us what your name is, what our day was like, and of course, how does that feel? Watch. You have eyes. Watch how that feels. Don't ask. Don't ask. A real man doesn't fucking talk. He watches. He feels with his fingers. And if you really want to get her off, when you touch her with these fingers, if you can go there with your mind and talk to her there, and that's not questions, those are statements. You are such amazing. You are amazing. You feel incredible. I can't have enough of you. She's gonna pop like you don't fucking know. Because when you go in there with this hand and your mind is on, I wonder if this means that, is she getting off? Maybe after I can ask her for a loan, or I got shit to do later. I've got exactly 1 hour. If you are thinking about anything, you're disconnected from your hand, and she feels a gap of space. So you might as well have an object down there, because the object would do a lot better than your fingers, because your fingers are dead. They're not talking to her. So that's just an added gift. Now, so it's very similar. It's very similar to when there is a breakage in the mind from you being 100,000% present with her, is what this energy chaser like. You're so too concerned with what it looks like and what you'll get, because you're empty. Next, mask addiction. You are like whoever's in your group, whoever's in the room, you become like them. You're like one way to your boss, one way to your woman, one way to a salesperson, one way to a single person, you another way towards your guys. You're not solidified, you're fragmented. So not only are you not center, there's no spine. Think jellyfish right here, right now. Next, control freak vibes. This is big. You will have a need to control. You know, when I was in, it's okay. There's a baby here. It's okay, love. Thank you so much. When I was passing through Montenegro, and I was in a beautiful restaurant, I was telling the guy that I was getting ready to do a live there. I just came back from Monte Carlo. It's amazing, fucking over there doing lives in front of these yachts with all my people there. At that point, I was only on TikTok, but I swear I will go there again. I will have my fam here there. It's quite an experience. So I'm in Montenegro in a restaurant, and he knows what I'm talking about, and about men and women. And the first thing he has an inkling to tell me is, I always let my women be in control. I'm laughing so hard. I looked at him and I said, that's because you are in control. So you let them have control. And he looked at me and he goes, you're right, but you see, that's the difference. Because a man in control will allow his woman to play. And the man needs to control the narrative, the conversation, and especially your emotions, is a whole other breed. And the reason he does that is because he's actually scared, that more like terrified that she'll actually see through him. You see, a femme guy doesn't know, is not connected to his abilities and his beauty of his guts, of his balls, let's say, of his manhood, what he's here to do. Most likely he's not attached to his purpose, and he hasn't helped enough people. He hasn't been there enough. He hasn't been challenged. And for sure he's not an athlete. It doesn't mean that there are not athletic guys that are not, especially, I'll have to say, bodybuilding types, the most irrational, overly emotional, where they really attract other bodybuilder women that are all in their head logical, that can help them through their trying. Yeah, an athlete is a whole different animal than a bodybuilder. You will not see me with a bodybuilder ever. Next, it's not all, but the majority, okay? Because they just need a lot of attention. They have to be the whole spotlight, because they're training, they're tanning, they're whatever. An athlete's a whole different thing. It's his sport, it's his goals, it's his training. That's such a turn on for me. Anyway, next thing is hollow confidence, more like manufactured confidence. That means he laughs a lot, very loud. He talks loud. We already know he talks a lot. Cocky words at the same time while he's scanning the room looking for validation. That's performative. And the same type of guy like this, for me, it's disgusting. When I see a guy with a girl and she's having a tiff with another girl beside her in a public place, or a guy, and he's watching and doing fuck all, he's not standing up for his woman, and then finally he says, will you both just be quiet? I don't want to say snip his dick right there, but I do want to say that would be it. That would be it. What does that tell you? That's him appearing to be in control, appearing to take a risk by not wanting to take sides, not wanting to take responsibility or accountability for a decision that might make him look bad to a fucking stranger. That's a gutless fucking spine. That's what that is. Next. And that's a man whose strength looks and feels empty to anyone around them. And you'll know that if you're a woman, because your energy will start to dip. So basically, a feminine guy is like a resentment dip. Most of the time, he will act like the world, society, the woman owes him something. Instead of fixing his own leaks, he'll feel like society did him dirty. His woman did it dirty. World, his family, his mom, his dad did him dirty. So he's bitter. And that bitterness, that reeks in a woman's world. That reeks. It doesn't contribute to our well-being. And yet you want what's inside of us to blossom, and you want to get off on that, or shine and all that, but if you're not contributing to that, you won't get that. You might get a fake version of a masculine woman but eventually you'll get tired of that, because these type of men, they don't fall in love, they fall in need. So if you match up with all your needs, and a few of them, you're done with, you're tired, you don't want to do it anymore, there'll be a riff. Count on it. And the biggest one, no silence muscle at all. Like, they can't sit. And they have to fill air and time. Weak men have to fill gaps of time. They can't absorb. They can't see and study without contributing something, saying something over and over and over and over. And it's not even, it might look like it's an opinion, but you'll always know when a conversation is enhancing you, because the energy it gives you. So when someone is talking, woman or man or whatever, if it doesn't uplift you, it's because it's at you. It's not to you, it's not to connect you, it's just splatting. They just like to hear themselves talk. They think they're doing something, but it's not. Also, emotional hijacker, energy debt. Every interaction costs people more energy than it actually gives. So when you're around this guy, it actually feels like you're paying tax. It just does. It's fucking taxing. Emotional hijacker. This is the biggest. They can't. When a woman tells a man his action hurts her, he has a choice to alter the action. If she is of value to him, if she's not, then he'll leave. But what he does instead, a weak man, is that he'll take it as a verbal attack, that he is all around a piece of caca. He won't even look at the item of what she's discussing. And then he'll drag in old receipts from last year or whatever. But you did this and you did, it has nothing to do with what you're talking about, nothing. And then he'll flip the narrative, and now she's the villain. She's the villain. And she foolishly enough, because masculine energy women get sucked into guilt, she will be treading water in guilt muddy waters, and she'll fall prey to this. And now he's a victim. And so that will teach her never to complain again. Reinforcing to masculine energy women that it's not safe doesn't get her warmth. When she talks about her pain, it gets her pain, it gets her attack, and she's actually fearful because she's in a vulnerable situation. That's not masculine. That's internalizing. He doesn't internalize what he sees for what it is. He gives himself a label because he's not hearing her. She's not her right now. She's a stand-in for his mother that reprimanded him or ridiculed him or blindsided him or was never there. Now, it's not that weak men are evil or anything like that. The only thing is that they're just uncalibrated. That's all that's going on here. But the women keep calling these types in because their own frequency is coded to fix projects, not have partners. So they're not going to align with protectors, because They can't receive. They're in doing mode because they need to do everything on their own. So now, let me dive in, just to be fair, in case there's any men, and then I'll answer all the questions. I wish I could hear you. Oh, this message is up for review. I guess a femme guy got his panties twisted in a bunch, but now I'm going to hit my women. Because the women are, they're gonna, you know why the women are gonna take it better? Because they're in their logic. Because they're separated from their emotion, it won't hit them as hard. But the feminine, they're disconnected from their logic, seeing that this is actually true, or is this true? Or how can I apply this? They're feeling verbally attacked. Okay. Wow. And then I'll answer questions, okay? All right. So, by any chance, you know what? I have no idea about the battery. Maybe, oh! You have no fucking idea. I don't want to say you're blessed, but I do want to say that for everybody that is here, is so meant to hear this, because just, you can't see, hold on. Oh, I have to do it this way. You can't see your battery. No, you know what? I'm going to read from the computer before it goes out of battery, then I'll ask you a question. You can't see your battery because you're on live. But the battery warning light just came on as I fucking said that. Therefore, I know I'm so meant to say this. We're plugging in. Okay, give me a second. Where can I put this? All right, let me just move some things out of the way so I can just, oh my God, I cannot believe this. Okay. Okay. That is just too much. Okay. We're continuing. Now, that is just too much, I swear. All right. I'm just going to continue reading the feminine because there is also a battery for the laptop, which I did not bring. Let me see. Oh my God, it's almost empty. So you know what? It's almost empty. So I am going to, you gave me a beer. Oh, that's freaking hilarious. Okay, so just a second. I'm going to read off quickly. How are we doing this? Hold on. I'm going to read off. Oh, shit. It's really almost empty. Oh my God. I guess we'd have to go upstairs. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do, okay? The computer is going to die in a few seconds. I didn't bring the plug. I'm going to do the women. But I am going to answer questions. As this goes up a little bit more, then I'm going to run upstairs, and if there's a little bit more time, we'll do the women. Otherwise, we'll tackle the women. Yeah, why don't we do that? I bet all the men will show up there. We'll tackle the women on Tuesday at 3 p.m. For those that want a blueprint to everything that I just talked about, that is exactly what the Sacred and Feral Trilogy 3 ebooks are. Check it. There's a preview of a few pages. You're going to see it's written, first of all, in such a funny way. It lays out the blueprint in every single way that this can be displayed to you as a woman so you can recognize it. I also have on my TikTok channel I love Heyoka 777, Feminine Wisdom. A couple of series there, how to recognize a femme guy, I call him femme guy. How to detach, how to bring your ex back, that one's powerful, it does not miss, because you're dealing with energies here. But the Sacred and Feral Trilogy, by the way, for you beer men here, you would gain a lot from reading. First of all, there's a huge part in there about the importance of you, and where I slap my bitches a bit because they can't keep snatching your nuts like this. It's ridiculous, okay? Because if they keep doing this, you're just going to get more and more passive. You're going to be docile with all the xenoestrogen and continue with your beer bitch tits, and then you're going to become like our pets. It's going to be like fucking Atlantis all over again. I can't let that happen. So the Sacred and Feral, it's very well written from a humorous standpoint and from an insightful standpoint of view. It's in slang, and it's very current, and I talk about the Matrix, I talk about all kinds of things that our women are doing now that is just horrendous, so that the men can learn to recognize, take their balls back, stand up and be counted. But there's a way to do it. See, if you're a feminine guy, you will do it in a defensive way. You will not exert power. You will exert force, and that will make her have to outforce you. It's just like when a woman is in pain and she's hurt and she wants to tell a man her feelings, and he out-femme bitches her by saying, that just made me feel really bad that you told me you were in pain because of what I did to you. You see how that works? So as a man, you can't be like a soggy log. You have to be dry, crisp, crackling, hard, fire. And that's what the Sacred and Feral Trilogy is all about. It's about how sacred you are for us as well. The women need to learn that. So let me start to answer some questions. I hope I can read them. And then I'll end it, depending on what time it is. What time is it? Hold on. Oh my God, okay. So we got about 10 more minutes. All right, let's do this first. Yes, I'm just going to answer as many as I can, okay? Alvin, hi. I would love questions from you guys, but if you're going to be a man, you're going to be, ridiculous as fuck, I'm going to have to let you go. But let me address. Oh, hello, Nilly Juliet. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Shahad. Good to see you. Tony. I'm tired of men. Okay, I want to address this right away. Tony, if you're tired of men, it's because and if you're a woman, I can't see the picture well, unless you're a man with a man, but in any case, it's the same thing. If you're tired, it means you have felt pressured and guilty to give from nothing, or you wouldn't be tired. And you've made them your whole thing. That's the reason you're tired. You're not tired. You're tired of being away that makes you unhappy. That's on you. That means you have full power. Hayden. Hello, Hayden. Oh, you are very smart. I don't know why people say that. I try to explain people, it's not my brain, it's my insight, and it's wisdom, and wisdom isn't smart, but okay, whatever. Then people say, I have some people from all walks of life who have many degrees, and they used to, when I started the TikTok, they'd be like, it's obvious you've had your master's degree, but what's your specialty, or what degrees have you they wanted the abbreviations. I'm like, well, I mastered the University of Adversity for sure, top in my class, like nobody fucking touched me. But apart from that, there was nothing I can say. And then, well, what are your certifications? I'm like, well, the fact that you're asking means that something I said registered. So are you questioning the certification as to something you've never heard about? Because you're not questioning what I taught you a minute ago, or you wouldn't be asking. I don't think they certify insight. No, not yet. I don't think there is wisdom taught. I mean, it can be passed down. But the problem with that is that it becomes a cliche. And what's a cliche? A cliche is like chewing gum. You hear it, but it has like fucking zero effect because it's from one mouth to another mouth to another. All the juice is gone. Dry as fuck. Your jaws hurt. Take it wherever you want to go. It's just the same. I have a gay boy in my class. Okay, so if you have a gay boy in your class, that's cool. He'll either be in the energy of masculine or in the energy of feminine. What I would do, since you brought this to my attention, is I would just mirror to him his greatness. All men are starved. If I could have a man one-on-one, like do 12 men a day, because it can't be a class, it has to be one-on-one, and I could mirror to them. And Hayden, it can't be from your brain, it can't be fake. You have to look at them, and what comes to you, say it to him. You know, I marvel at your blah, blah, blah. You know, I've noticed how you do. You know what? I can't get over your energy. You just make me feel like I can do anything. He's going to lose it. You have no idea how he will excel. I'm so glad you said that. Juliet, question. I'll tell you right now, Juliet is a very organized human being. Very organized, masculine woman, but that's okay. Go, I just want to see. Male artists, like actors, are very much, yeah. Does that make them, okay, if not, okay, so I talked about this in the live last time, but let me just give you a synopsis and summarize it for you now. The men who have access to their creativity and they get to put it on stage, they are living from their creative energy. They will still need a logical woman because that's their craft. Now, here's the thing. Because they have a chance to express themselves, they're not going to have a lot of things pent up. But now, because they're an actor, that doesn't mean he's feminine. And a singer doesn't mean he's feminine. And even a comedian doesn't mean he's feminine. There are actors, painters, and that who are masculine, fully using their feminine nature of creativity. So not one means all, but you would know in how they approach you. Do they even approach you, or do you approach them? Can you bring them to you? You'll always know, and here's the one thing I have to tell you. Men that are dominated by, not accessing, dominated by, are extra sensitive to being heard from a woman. That's your divider. So, you know, if you say, you know, this makes me uncomfortable, and you should feel very easy to say that, and he's like, I can't get it right, no matter what I do, blah, 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 then you're dealing with what's called wounded. What I like to call is a man who is still in the little boy, trapped in his room, feeling alone, unworthy and unloved. That boils down to that. Darren. So Darren is giving me his limited opinion. And I can tell Darren has researched a lot of psychology books and throwing out labels. So Darren is a person who works in labels and definitely feels threatened by things I'm saying. Sherry, hi. Like I said, Darren is a person who's had a lot of psychiatric psychology therapy, stuff like that, and more labels here, giving me more labels. Exactly like I said. Actually, I'm not generalizing from my point of view, since so many women resonate with this, but your logic isn't intact, so it would be difficult for you to see. You're generalizing from all your therapeutic sessions. Nilly, my feelings don't lie to me. Of course they don't. Well, obviously, Darren, this live is not helping you. Why are you still here? Is it to control an opinion-based narrative or to judge another? Why are you still here? All this time you spent with us. Wow. Nellie says, it is so helping me. Did you hear that, Darren? Maybe go over to my Heyoka channel, almost 155,000 people who say the same thing. But again, guys who have been in, it's funny how he used the word gibberish. There's a gibberish? Yeah, gibberish is exactly what he's been prone to. Psychological gabble, babble, gibberish. Oh, and look, he's still here. More labels. Oh, wow, more labels. Wow, more labels. Oh, this person's read a lot of labels. Oh, wow. I don't want to tell you how I feel about the partner with him. More labels. Wow. Yeah. Next. That's probably who YouTube was removing before with all the comments that I said, oh, I wonder if some people are being removed with their comments. Oh, it's him. Yeah, this doesn't have to make sense to you, Darren. That's okay. Juliet, question, how do you react to a femme guy provoking you while staying in your power? Sometimes they are in your family, brother, and you can't really walk away from a conversation. Why can't you walk away from a conversation? All you have to do is just say to him, this is making me uncomfortable, your tone. So I'm going to leave until you can control your emotions a little bit more. Then we can have this conversation like two adults. Right now, it's making me feel unsettled. That's all. Next. Wow, for a man who doesn't like my live, you certainly contributed a lot. Gift, okay, awesome. Pete, okay. How am I going to answer? How do I answer Pete? Pete, message. How do we answer people here? Pete? Oh, Pete, I don't know how to answer you. How do we answer people here? Okay, Pete, let me say this for you. I don't know if you have a pen. Pin message. Where are we supposed to write? Why doesn't it give me a chance to write anything? Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, Pete, the best thing, message, could this be it? message. Nope. I don't know why. I'll check later why. But Pete, when this live is done, will you please write gift in the comments? It'll be posted, and I will send you the access to the 4 days. All right? It'll be my pleasure. Wow. Okay. Where's this going? Oh, okay, back. I'm still learning how to use this thing. And next. Oh, Pete. So if you have no patience for her, just leave Darren. You know what, ladies? A man. Peter, thank you so much. That almost made me cry. Thank you. Oh, Pete. Thank you so much, love. Pete, I'm going to give you my email right now in case so you can connect with me. On here where it says store.nicolecoleman.com, there is a contact there. But if you don't want to go through all that, just go to Nikki, Niki 880@gmail.com. If you're able to do that. Otherwise, please, 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 after this is all done, will you please just in the comments, gift, and then I will send you my WhatsApp number in order to get yours and to, don't leave it here, please, because people like Darren, I just don't know what they're capable of. Thank you, and thank you for that, love. Thank you very much. Hopefully, Darren will be busy next time and he won't show up. But if he starts showing up and stalking me on all my lives, well, you know, we'll have to take it a step further. Next. Okay. Wow, he certainly wrote a lot. Wow. Oh, Willie at Juliet. What do you mean, femme guy? Let me, Willie, let me explain to you. A femme guy is someone like Darren who he can't see above. He is triggered and is getting an emotional response to a woman saying how she feels, how she sees things. A femme guy is someone that when a woman talks about how she feels with an action he's done, he sees a woman and a man, which is probably Darren, sees equality. That is the worst thing. That is what's collapsing our male and female dynamics. I'll talk about it more in the next time. A woman is not your equal. An orange and an apple, a banana and an orange, none of those are equal. You dilute each and it turns into something different, and that's a problem today. The polarity is gone. But I'm going to make sure it happens back. A femme guy is someone who's overwhelmed by his feelings. He's not anchored in his logic. He's not dry. He's threatened, kind of like this Darren guy that has to keep commenting negatively with all his labels, which I happen to know from the second comment that it was all about things he's read that he's regurgitating now. A femme guy is someone that is not anchored in a sense of self and is defensive, lacks initiating, insecure, needs a woman to address him first, lacks follow through, not very good with money, suffers at times from inertia, lets himself go, and or has addictions. That's a femme guy. We all have masculine and feminine energy, but when you're a man and you're ruled by your feelings, and there's reasons for that, you will have all the traits, which is just some of the hardcore ones that I read earlier. If you were here, if not, you can play right after the live is done. I hope that explains it. Please ask me more directly, because not all my women know how to answer it as thorough as I do. But basically, a femme guy is like a masculine woman who lives in her logic, has to control, has to obsess, is jealous, doesn't really take care of herself, wants to talk everything through with you like she's your shrink or your mother, doesn't trust you'll come through. So on my next live, Darren, don't forget to be there. We love taking up your time of life. My next live will be Tuesday, 3 p.m. ET time. And then I'm going to put all the stuff about the masculine women, where the masculine women are shooting themselves in the foot and killing off our guys indirectly, which is what the people on top of this world want to happen. They want weak men. They want logical women and over-emotional men like Darren to handle everything. They want the sexes to be in a state of role reversal, because our body as a woman is not meant to live logically dominated by our logic. Our body's a feeling hormone. We're comprised mostly of estrogen. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other way of being. So when you as a man are ruled by your feelings and you have a body that is testosterone based, there's going to be a crossroads. There's going to be a collision. You're going to act in a way that a woman usually acts. And what you'll bring to yourself, since only opposites attract, is if you are a man in a primarily female energy, thinking like a female, feeling like a female, acting like a female, you'll attract a woman who wants to boss you around, tell you what to do, won't share her feelings with you, won't open up, things like that. Want to know everything about you, like where you're going, what you're doing. Very jealous, very possessive, controlling, and I'll read all those in my Tuesday live. Tanya, I've blocked him. Oh, you did? Oh, Juliet says thank you. I have the greatest fucking people here. Do the same and you won't see his comments. I cannot tell you how fucking evolved you are. I cannot even tell you. My people, is that too brash of me to say I'm so proud of you? Here I was dealing with debris, but what I'm glad is that you saw, and what I'm glad that got documented. The second comment he left, what did I say? This is a man who is regurgitating a lot of labels. He's had a lot of therapy, read a lot of books of matrix-style 3D living. And he's analyzing me. And he's telling me I'm generalizing, because what is he doing? He's generalizing based on what? What he's regurgitated. So, no gut instinct, just regurgitating knowledge. No coming from a place of seniority in the sense of, oh, okay, this woman is talking about weak men. Wow, wonder where she's getting this from. Oh, and all the women are like, yeah. Oh, and this is not happening. No, it is happening. But you know what? I won't get around to it today, but I'm going to hammer my ladies on Tuesday. So I had to just tell it like it is to all my men, because it's not a blame game. But I wanted the men to go first, because I have to tell the women that we are responsible for uplifting you. Now, it's not that we need to sacrifice our life and stay with someone who doesn't up-level, but guess what? She has to up-level first, because we inspire man. We were born to inspire man. Man doesn't inspire us. It's our duty. And this is where it's beautiful. because a man who's not acting in his right realm is only acting that way because she has gone off track. Don't think this has never happened to me. I remember everything was amazing. All of a sudden, I couldn't believe how amazing everything was. I started doing too much. I started doing too much for him, doing too much. I started letting go myself, and I'm like, oh my God, this is because my upbringing was a bit really colorful, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh wow, I feel this, and I'm going to do, and all of a sudden things got very different very quick. No thank you, hold back, no calls on time, like, and I realized, and I'm like, this is how, see, a man is so beautiful in this sense, is that when a woman's in her mother energy, he's not pulled. But instead of women blaming you, I'm going to take them out of the mother energy, and I'm going to put them back in their sensuality, not where they have to make you feel like you don't know what the fuck to do in your life, but inspire by reflecting to you all that you do know, because she reflects to you the power she sees in you. But that won't happen if she's not connected to her power. So I can't wait to fucking do this. See, I even had a femme guy say to me when I discussed this earlier, he said, oh, no, it's not the responsibility of the women, it's 50-50. I go, no, it's not banana oranges. No, I don't feel like diarrhea, and that's not it. No, we're not diluting the beauty of a fucking firm banana. We're not doing it. And I'm not mushing a fucking orange to mix with mushed banana. And no, it's not happening. It's not happening. And you will know as you hear the words that I say. If you feel in your energy, and this is for anyone, okay? When your energy starts to rise, when you hear someone talk, not when your mind is going, oh, I don't know, and I don't know. They're not for you. But when something inside, you see, your energy can't lie. And it can't hide in front of someone talking to you, and it can't die. I can help you transmute it out of pain, but that's a whole other thing. Work with me, send a text to me one-on-one, and we'll set that up. But that's how you know. It's like knowing the right medicine is for you. When you take a plant or an herb and all of a sudden you feel better, there's no side effects. That's medication. Likewise, when anyone, and this is not just me, is giving you their personal story or their insight as a Heyoka empath. He probably came on when I was just talking. He doesn't know I'm a Heyoka empath. And even if he does, I doubt that he knows what a Heyoka empath is. So for you, so that all of you know, when you get chills, when your energy goes up, when you get emotional with me, that is a signal that is resonating with your body from my words and my body. That means your soul is hungry for this and needs to hear this. It's not, I'm just talking out of my ass and you get a fucking chill in your leg. That doesn't happen. So I'm glad this happened so that I can bring this forward to you. I'll just bypass his questions. Julia, Tanya, you guys are amazing. I love how you are. Listen, just so you know, because you're already there for each other's back, I feel so great. Classes are starting September 6th and September 20th. They are bi-weekly classes for my girls only so far. If we get enough men, we may start a men. Believe me, I love talking to my man because I can be hard and rough with them. When as hard and rough as I am with a man, it doesn't matter, he's a femme man, he snaps out of his bullshit very quickly because I also see the gold in that man. And that's all he's hungry for, is to be seen. That's all. So 33 for the month. If you want in before that happens, it starts next week. DM me. I don't know how to, I'm going to have to look in how to post answers. It wasn't this complicated in TikTok. But once this video is live as a video, just please comment me. I want into class and I'll send you the link and everything, okay? Okay. Sometimes we have to remove idiots, but you know what? That's okay. They'll just never be here again. Curtis says, I'm confused trying to keep up. Everyone gets a chance. Okay. Willie, not autoimmune, like you can't listen. Autoimmune system. The women of today are suffering with an autoimmune system, a disease, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, things like that, where their immune system shuts down on itself. Oh, okay, thank you, Juliet. I think she's going to have to be my secretary. Thank you for the beer, although I don't drink it. Alvin, hi. Veronica, hi, baby. I'm so glad you're here. I was talking about you earlier. I don't know if you got it. Hi, Deanne. How does a woman up-level herself in a relationship when she sees a man is having feminine tendencies? Okay, well, directly to answer this question, and then I'm going to wrap it up. It's not a one thing, okay? She needs to have an internal shift. It's not about, oh, I'm going to just not do this thing, because you're going to be triggered. Both of you trigger each other. So if you were to have a couple of sessions with me where I can go into your past life and I can go further, deeper, the first thing I would say, and I did catch your email, and I'm going to address it as soon as I finish the day, honey. I'm very excited. I'll send you detail about that. I would have you make a list now of every single way that it's going off, so we can tackle that head on, cut off the head of the snake. So I can trace that to the root in you. Really how this helps, there's two ways. With all the women that have boyfriends and husbands, and believe me, it's been severe. It's been women who have 30 years without a kiss from a guy, all of a sudden turn romantic. That and the other lady that was thrown out of his house with her teenage kids, and he has another daughter that was like, you know, a negative daughter. And then for her to be asked to move in 3 weeks later, and now 6 months later they're married, those two couples out of the 3,000 really stand out for me. So all I'm saying is the work with you and me, yes, but it really, really does help to get into his weaknesses, what is triggering him from you, not what you tell me, but what he inherited from a past life coming here that got him to come into your orbit, which is a beautiful thing, okay, because that's obviously how you meet. There's something that I do called soul tie theme, which tells you, and you will feel very good when you know this, how exactly you've met this person, for what reason you met this person, and how it's, not how it's going to turn out, will you marry or not marry, but your style of your relationship. And so many couples, when they know that, they feel so much at ease that they were fucked up to begin with, or they wouldn't have got that person. So to honor your question, the very first thing that would happen is we up-level you. It helps to know things about him, but just to put that aside, when the woman becomes very anchored, just like, oh, and she's here, she knows who she is, she's a young adult, she's my month top header, she took a big risk, she has a femme guy, she completely, in what looks like to be a drastic turn, which was what was true to her, and I kept checking with her, how are you feeling inside? I'm feeling lighter, even though it was very negative, right? Because letting him go and all that. Let me tell you how everything turned around, because she follow through. And that's one thing masculine energy women and feminine energy men do not do. They don't follow through. See, men who are too much on their feelings, they say things on a fly. So when they're happy with you, it's like, oh, I can totally see myself married with you, and then we'll build this house and we'll fly all over the world. And then when they're negative, that's it, we're done. 2 days later, they're like, oh my God, it put me through so much when we separated. Meanwhile, he initiated the whole thing. And the thing with the woman masculine is she'll say things, she'll know something's a very strong pull, and she's like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I'm doing this, and that's it. And then she gets distracted and she doesn't do it. They're paired off like that. So as you make your changes, he will make his changes. It all depends on how many changes need to be made and how many sessions are playing out for the role playing, for seeing where his weakness is, because his weakness is going to tear at you. But step one, and a very solid step, is to have more depth about yourself, where you're leaking light, and stop it. Just the fact that you stop it, he has to upgrade, because he can't keep getting from you, so he's going to be choking. So he will have to come, and he will have to level up. That's step one. Okay, thank you so much for everybody. Okay, so those, and again, let me just reiterate, everyone that's here, 4 days, a gift, trial. Heyoka voice drops every single day, at least 10 minutes. They're going to be very timely into your life. If you like that, I so welcome and want to give that to you. Just in the comment section, I don't know, or email me if you have a pen. It's Nikki, NIKI880@gmail.com. Otherwise, go to my store here and contact me if you forget, or after this gets posted, just write in the comment gift, or if you want a 101, write 101, and go visit my book. I'm putting together a package, the whole month of the Heyoka Insight Drops with the book, because they work hand in hand. The book's just going to snap you out of a lot of things. It's going to snap you out of a lot of things. That with the voice drops, you'll see it's things you're going through daily that will keep you, I don't want to say elevated, even though it's elevated. I don't want to just use words. But you'll see, you'll feel very calm and very clear. And because you feel that way, you won't feel that life is a struggle. It won't be heavy, and you'll make progress. You'll see. So if you want the two together, usually 144. For my live people, I'm putting it at 88, but you have to say live people. Otherwise, it's 144. All right. You're welcome, Veronica. Tanya, are our exes and partners, everyone is part of your past life, but it doesn't mean they're a true love thing. Some people are new energies. I won't know that exactly until I see you. But yes and no. All right, everybody. Bye for now.